Ready?
There's some weird stuff going on. I clicked a different button this time, so it's not just the one sound. It's really bugging me out.
You know there's a way to fix that, right?
Yeah, you should shut it off. Why would I do something silly like that? I'll be okay with this, I think. And we're live.
What is up?
Live and in living color. That's how it is. That's how it's got to be. I am Shane, a.k.a. the Horny Gnome.
I'm Kyle, just Kyle.
And this is Season 2, Episode 26 total. We're not getting started on all that.
3 of Season 2?
2 of 2.
2 of 2?
2 of 2. Sean Addison already hopping in here. What's up? What's up? You can see some changes. I've got to figure this camera out eventually.
Yeah,
we'll
do a little crooked, aren't we? A little off-centered. Off-kiltered?
Maybe. I think we're just off. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to be okay with it and not worry about it.
Okay.
Nobody wants to really see us. They're just here for the good coming across the microphones. So, wow. Sean says I came early again. Yahtzee
Happens to the best of us.
Oh man, it really does, doesn't it?
It's her fault.
You ever had something and you like came early, like an event or something? Because you were so excited that you came early. You know what I mean? Speaking of not coming early, I don't even care. We're gonna get out of this. You almost came a little bit late tonight because you had a little run-in with a furry creature. You want to explain what happened?
Yeah. So I did survive it because it wasn't a moose, but it was its little cousin.
Whatever. Okay, go ahead.
Obviously, on the way here, someone, unbeknownst to me, had hit a deer, and the deer had expired on the middle of the highway, and they just apparently parts of their car were there, parts of the deer were everywhere.
It really got it, is what you're saying. Yeah.
And there was no car to be seen. They just kept going, and so I came up on it.
Was it a moose? You did.
Cousin.
It was cousin. Cousin of a
run
moose.
To the family.
The great whitetail. Go ahead.
And I drive a really small car, and right over the top of it. There was no avoiding it. There was no swerving or nothing. There was no hitting the brakes. And now I have bits and pieces of a deer scraped all along the bottom of my vehicle.
The greatest thing is you sent this through your camera phone to me. And so we can see it better than you can see it. And it looks like you picked your car up, set it on its ass end, and sprayed it with deer guts all across the whole bottom of it, set it back down, and just started cruising. Pulls into the driveway, scraping and stuff.
Yeah, I checked and there was nothing. Like, I couldn't find anything. And I get going down the highway and I hear, and I'm like, is it my bumper? Is it something important? So I stop, can't see it. So I'm like, well, if I can't see it, it's not important. So I just keep coming. And that's when I called you, and I'm like, yeah, you got a flashlight. Something's definitely, and I know you can probably hear me 3 blocks away.
Something's dragging. Oh, man. So is that the biggest thing you've ever hit with a vehicle? Or have you ever actually hit a deer?
No, I've actually hit a deer before.
Oh, yeah, me too.
With the same car, actually.
Oh, really?
And it was my only deer I've ever hit.
Oh.
And that one, it was weird because I don't know where the deer came from. Like, when I actually hit it, there was another car coming. And then, like, I got past that car, and the deer was just there. But it was facing the direction, like, it came from where that car was.
Oh,
so I have I feel like the deer just ghosted itself in front of us. And I hit that deer every bit of 65. There was no slowing down. There was no like, oh crap. That deer was car deer gone. And he flew. I bet he was like 150 yards.
It's pretty low profile. I bet it just scoops it.
Oh yeah. Man. it went airborne.
But it didn't really damage too much, right? I mean, you got some little dings and dents here and there, but
I had to take that to the auto shop when I actually hit a deer.
Oh yeah,
and that that was those that dent and dings and stuff you see on there now are two things: a raccoon and my wife.
Yeah.
I got a few more.
She wouldn't get out of the way, so he just fucking drove right over. Oh man.
She looks at my car and she's so like headlight, front bumper.
Yeah.
Broke in. She backed into it with our other van. Okay. She says that the hubcap missing is not her, but it just happened to like disappear a week.
It was her possession.
Yeah. So whatever. And then recently, the back bumper is where she backed into another car at Walmart. So my car looks really rough, and like it only looks rough as sometimes my wife has to drive it.
That's funny. I used to drive this rural paper route back in high school. So I would pick up papers in Clark's at the gas station Clark's, and we would go south to Central City, all the way to the north up into like Fullerton area and stuff. And then all the way past David City, or not David City.
What's up, poster?
Duncan, past Duncan, and then all the way down to Polk and stuff. Like the last paper I would drop off would be like the Anderson, the one that was in would have been a grade above you or something. Nate's grandma. It's their grandma.
Rose.
Yeah. So she was one of the last papers there. And I would hit Nixon Clark's on the way
Firebird.
back. So it was a big circle. It was like 165 miles. I hit so many deer. It's not like I wanted at one point I wanted to paint my car to look like an old like warplane, and I would just put little pictures of rabbits and raccoons and deer on the side of it as like my kills. There was one night that it was super, super foggy out, and there's some other stuff that goes along with this night we're not going to drag up on this podcast. But it was pea soup fog. Like you couldn't see 20 foot in front of you. And I, no lie, probably hit 15 rabbits minimum. And like 2 raccoons with a 1994 Ford Taurus. It just annihilated things that night. I also locked up the brakes and slid across the highway by the Fi's house back in the day.
What up, Standpoint America?
So
Joe.
Here we go. We got some over on my TikTok. So just so you guys are aware that you're listening in and what we're kind of chiming in on. So we're live, but we're live on multiple profiles. So you're going to see some Facebook ads coming in. You're going to see some Facebook people coming in. You're going to see Twitch people come in. You're going to see people on my TikTok, on Kyle's TikTok, because the Unlikely Role Models pod. I'll get him in a sec. The Unlikely Role Models podcast only has like 270 something on our TikTok. We do need to put some more content on there, and then you guys will be right over. But if you guys are watching and you're listening and whatever, and you want to check us out more, please go over and follow Unlikely Role Models pod over on TikTok, and you can see our stuff. And then we can go live from there, and then we don't have to worry about it. Sonka says, I try to say hi on Facebook. Let's Twitch. What's up, Sonka Cubs? How are you? That's my good dude. He lives in Iowa.
Okay.
We're going to try to not hold it against him, but he lives in Iowa.
We beat him this year, so I'm okay with whatever.
Now. Right?
I'm not even bitter.
Let's go. Let's get into this first beer, and then we'll get into this other stuff. So, my buddy here, let's just random pick. We'll random pick. There we go. So my buddy went to Greeley, Colorado for some training, and I was like, hey, while you're out there, do you want to pick me up some beers? Absolutely. So we went to 2 different breweries. He went to Weldworks, and then he also went to I don't remember the other one off the top of my Tight Knit. So I've tried a couple of those. I tried a couple of these Weldworks, but Weldworks is kind of famous for like their weird like dessert, style ones. So this one is going to be a mango key lime cheesecake sour.
Okay.
So this is going to be a little bit different. It's made with mango, key lime, cream cheese, milk sugar, vanilla, graham cracker, natural, and artificial flavors.
See, I might have messed up because I just realized I still had my little peppermint gum in. So.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be a little feng shui for you in your mouth.
So I'll hurry up and do what I can. Hey, what's up, Carissa?
Hey, she made it. Let's go. She said she wasn't. She said I'll try to remember, and I was like, get it together earlier. She goes, I don't even know what we were talking about. This is WeldWorks Brewing out of Greeley, Colorado. I love Colorado. The scenery, just everything. Colorado's fantastic. I got nothing bad to say about Colorado unless they beat us in football, which hasn't happened in forever. Okay, let's pour this one out. Oh yeah, it was 2 years ago, wasn't it? Ugh. Okay, so there's that.
Did that or did we?
Dude, I don't remember. Sanka, do you remember? Sanka is definitely not a Husker fan, but he could probably tell us. I don't remember. God, that makes me a terrible Husker fan.
What's up, Rapid Dave?
So nothing crazy on this can art. They kept it nice and simple, but it's kind of got a cool little vibe to it, like a fun little. Just limes and mangoes on the front with some like.
I do like mangoes a lot more than I definitely did when I was young.
So I tell you what. So there's a Krista says I remembered I'm a big kid now. There you go. And then Rapid Dave hopping in here. What's going on? Rapid Dave, I like beer. I like beer too.
Welcome back. We have been on a hiatus. Thank you, Dave.
Yeah, I know it. And so we both got kids, and then I have grandkids. So we both have young kids at our house, and that it changes a lot of things. And so,
then my kids this year are at a different school, and it changed my schedule completely.
Yeah. So we're trying to make it work as much as possible, and we're going to continue to make it work. That's what we're going to do. We're going to try this beer first. Oh, I smell fruit. That mango is just crazy out of there. Oh, that smells so good. That's like potent.
All right,
here we go. Ooh,
I will. You know what?
That's pretty fucking. So, it is actually not like a fruited sour like a lot of the stuff that we drink. It actually is a kettle sour. However, the fruity flavor of the fruit that's in this overpowered the kettle sour.
Yeah.
Probably 5-1. So it's just
that mango hits late.
Yeah. No. You catch lime in the beginning.
Yeah.
And the lime is a little bit bitter. And then the sweet, mellow.
As I'm sitting here, I can still taste the mango.
So it almost tastes like mango with like ice cream, right? Like you catch a little bit of a nice, super sweet. Oh man, this is okay. This is good.
So for
legit good.
Those who don't know, we have a very different grading scale.
Yes. Sorry, Tosh. This is mango key lime cheesecake sour ale from WeldWorks Brewing Company out of Greeley, Colorado.
Shane has a palate for this. Okay, enjoys it. Okay, for those who don't know, mine is drinkable or not drinkable. Anything 5 and under is something that I don't consider really drinkable. 6 to 7 is something. Yeah, I'll have it here when I'm sitting with you. And then 8 to 10 is like probability that I would even like buy it if I saw it on a shelf.
There you go.
I'll give this a solid 8, maybe even 9.
It's good.
It's good.
It's really good. It's really good.
This is good.
You guys remember what movie is that? Road Trip, where they're trying to like whatever, and they look at the little geeky guy, and the little geeky guy goes, "It's good." Oh, it was about his French toast that was in that guy's ass crack. He puts it down his pants and then like farts on the way back to the kitchen, and then he puts it back on the plate. And he goes and he takes a bite.
Is that like,
it's good.
Wait, did you say the movie name?
It's
that's right. It's right.
Barry Manilow. His name is Barry Manilow. Remember?
Yeah. I remember.
And his grandpa walks around like knocking stuff off the shelves with his dick and stuff because he has a hard on or whatever, and he walks. Brian. Oh, the brother Brian's hopping in. Biggest deer you've ever killed.
Man.
What a dick.
Number one, I think we both know that's false. Number two, didn't technically kill it. It was already
No, he
dead.
made sure it was dead, though. Like the me, myself, and Irene, where he just loads that whole clip into that cow.
He was a goner.
That's what when you sent that snap of you dragging him off the road. That's all I thought was that me, myself, and Irene. This is for your own good.
So, one thing we haven't got into yet, it actually didn't make my car go at all. I really was expecting way worse. And I think because it was already pretty much half gone by the time I got there, my car more or less rolled it. So it actually didn't do as much. It did break like a wheel well fender.
Chris says, how was the car?
It's holding up. I don't have a name for this car like I had for my Suburban. I think it's because I actually legitimately hate this car. Like I don't even like it.
How about Deer Killer? the deer deer corpse. I don't know.
Still cheaper than ammo.
Mad Max.
But anyway, one thing we haven't even got into yet, which is how we always start every episode, is sports.
And we haven't talked about
I know
it's because we got sidetracked because of the beer.
The Super Bowl.
You should call it Rudolph. Yikes.
That's not a bad name.
Brian with the win. Nice job. So we haven't talked about the Super Bowl. Let's talk about the Super Bowl. I have two things that I want to say about the Super Bowl. Really simple. I want the Eagles fans to shut the fuck up and stop acting like there was anything less than a holding call that if it had been any other game would have been called. But because it's the Super Bowl, you want your team player to just be able to go ahead and play with fucking holding and whatever. There was bad calls on both sides of the ball. Shut the fuck up. Number two, go KC. Let's go, baby. Everybody talking shit all year long like that wasn't going to happen, and it happened.
Right. And you know what? Like,
sorry. Okay. Go ahead, Kyle. I'll explain why this is funny.
Thank you, Tina. I really like this cup a lot, actually. It's brand. I've had it. When was this all? Since last Sunday? So I've only had it for about a week.
She says I hate you. Oh, that's great. So Tina, as you might know, has been on the show a couple different times, and may or may not have left a basic white girl cup over at Kyle's house that he has been on purpose flaunting all night.
Yes, waving it, just waving. Does anyone can see? It's a beautiful Stanley since 1913. Little. It's kind of off baby beige.
Every basic white girl I know went out and bought one in the last 5 months.
It's got a straw. It's really good. Actually, it's good. Keeps everything going. But can't. My phone's over there.
Sanka, what are you doing? Oh, Sanka's pissed because he's probably an Eagles fan, and oh, that sucks for you, buddy.
I don't feel bad.
I don't either. Hey, you know what? You did really, really good to be number two. That's all I can say.
Right. And you, as far as
your text messages, she's got something to say.
My phone's over there, so I'll have to check it after.
It'll be a while. Oh man.
But
go ahead. So
the one thing that the Eagles do have,
yep,
is probably the more mature Kelsey.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Jason Kelsey is amazing, and his wife was there. His 38 week along wife was there. She brought her OB just in case she gave, which I thought would have been fantastic, give birth to a Kelsey at the Kelsey Bowl. Fantastic. It didn't happen, but it would have been great. 2 other guys had babies during the McCole Hardman had a baby during his old lady or whatever had a baby during the Super Bowl. And another guy on our team, one of the line guys, his wife had twins. But where were we going with this? God damn it.
The more of the Kelseys.
Do you ever watch New Heights, their podcast? Do you ever listen to it or anything like that?
Did I send it to you or Garrison? I didn't know they had one, and then it came across.
It's okay, so you have to start watching it. It's great. It's fantastic because
I saw him talking about
because they're kind of polar opposites a little bit, but it was fantastic. Like Jason Kelsey after the Super Bowl goes up to his brother, hugs him, and the first thing he says is like, "Fuck you, but congratulations." So it definitely is, and it's funny because like his brother talked him into to continue to play football. Like he wasn't going to play football, and Jason was going to continue, and he was focused on other stuff or whatever, and he made him continue. So he pushed him, and now look at him. They're both
football.
I said that, didn't I?
I swear you said baseball.
I definitely meant football. And so they just keep it going.
You had me thrown off for a sec because I was like, okay, where's and then you okay.
Sanka says Eagles control that game. They did. They controlled the clock. They controlled a lot of things. Just not the outcome, but they controlled a lot of things. Hurts is not better than Mahomes, and you need to get off of whatever state of delusion.
You know what else?
You're on.
I control my house.
Yeah. Oh man. So speaking of houses, we had respectable Super Bowl parties. You want to talk about yours a little bit? I'll talk about mine.
We just had some friends over.
What'd you guys do for food? Because
we did. We're both
smoked
pulled pork.
That's what's
smoked
important.
Brisket.
There you go.
Smoked mac and cheese, and then I threw some hamburgers and hot dogs on the smoker too.
Okay.
And then just kind of random odds and ends.
Okay. So we did a little bit. We went a different way. We did lasagna soup. Somebody brought chili. We did
lasagna soup. Actually, sounds kind of bomb. And I'm not a soup guy.
No, it is because so what you do is the first thing you do is you make this mixture of feta cheese, mozzarella, and Parmesan cheese, and then before you pour your soup in, you take like a big old gob of this cheese and you put it in the middle of your bowl, and then you pour the soup over top of it. So it just has this like bomb ass cheese mixed in with it, and then it's like bow tie noodles, but then it's like lasagna. Oh man, it's so good. Super easy to make. I'll get you the recipe. Anyhow, so we had lasagna soup. Somebody brought chili. We did the meatballs and sausage chunks in the barbecue sauce with grape jelly, where you mix that in or whatever. You ever done that before? Turned out really good. We did that. We had a meat and cheese tray where I did deer and regular some sausage and some cheeses. And then we did a pickles and olives tray.
Okay.
Turned out pretty dynamite too. But then the highlight was I had taken some sirloins that we had from the cow.
Yeah.
Took some sirloins, and I took some top blade steaks. Top blades are very underrated, by the way. You got to try to get some and try to. They're just little steaks, but man, there's a ton of flavor in this little bastard. Okay. So anyhow, top blade steaks and sirloins. So we did that. I cubed them all up into like little strips or chunks or whatever. Extra virgin olive oil, salt and pepper, let them set, get room temperature. So at halftime, I went and I threw them on the Blackstone, fried those little bastards up, and then I had made chim curry earlier in that day. So chim curry is this Argentinian thing that people do. Okay. And the only reason I knew about it is because I've seen it in like every open fire cooking video because I'm obsessed with watching open fire cooking videos. And all this group of guys that makes Fuego grills and some other stuff, which I'd love to have them on the podcast. Man, I love that grill. It's like $1,000 for their baseline grill, and they go up from there to there's like an $8,000 version of
they have that makes them different, just a regular run of the mill grill.
No. So it's not a grill, like it's cast iron, and you can like start fires in it.
Oh,
and
okay.
Then it comes
I know what you're talking about.
And then it comes now. Like with accessories for racks of ribs and like whatever, all kinds of
build towers on it.
Yeah. Okay. So just phenomenal stuff. And anyhow, so he makes this almost every time he makes steak. He mixes like chim curry stuff. So I looked at the recipe and I was like, well, there's got to be something to it if he does it all the time.
Yeah.
And it's like this big Argentinian thing. So it's like fresh parsley, fresh cilantro, fresh garlic, lemon juice, extra virgin olive oil, red wine vinegar, and kosher salt. And you mix it all up you put that on. Holy crap. Like, I know the old saying, like, if I put it on top of my head, my tongue would beat my brains out trying to get to it. Like, it is so good, dude.
Okay.
And then because you make it out of all these high-end oils and high-end stuff or whatever, it lasts like 3 weeks. So I still have some of it. Like,
nice.
it's pretty bomb.
Carissa, we all need one.
But so we did those steak pies. It turned out awesome. Everybody to eat. It was good.
I don't mean to.
Go ahead.
No, it just popped in my when you said that you made this thing last week.
Yeah.
I churned butter.
Oh no, you did.
I made my own homemade butter with a blender, of course, not like a wood, whatever the dowel and whatever. But I churned butter and I was pretty proud of it. Like it actually didn't. I mean, it tastes like butter, which was. I don't know why that was weird to me because that's what I was going for, but it worked.
So I saw something on TikTok, but it would work really good for this. Okay, so if you take the end of like a clamp and you drill it out to where it's the receiver, like the same size as the receiver end of like reciprocating blade for like a Sawzall, you can put a clamp in there and you clamp stuff into that clamp and you just shake the ever living piss. It works for like mixing up paint, but it would be great for mixing up butter. You never have to worry about it again. It just and it would shake it up and you'd be good to go. Okay. So Sanka's throwing some shade over here. He's like, okay, that Hurts is better than Mahomes. Eagles control that game.
Come on.
Your buddy's food sounds better. And he's like, I'm just mad at Shane because he sounds good. And then Secret Dance 1896. Should siblings date? Step bros and step sisters, whatever. Other than that, get the fuck out of here. Okay. News stories? Okay, go ahead. Okay. I didn't even pull mine off the printer. I'm just going to remember mine. Go ahead.
Okay. So, unfortunately for this, it's not a Florida man this time. Okay? Not a Florida man. Just going to premise this with that.
Okay.
He is from Iran. And he went and he found a guy who stated that he was a wizard.
Okay.
He paid this guy essentially in American dollars, it come out to $500, and he made him invisible, or so he said. He made him invisible.
Is it like invisible when nobody's looking, kind of thing?
Invisible when no one's looking, kind of thing. But he didn't say that part. Okay.
So I have to be naked and nobody can be around, and I'll be invisible.
This guy paid $500 to have a spell cast on him that makes him invisible. And then from there, he doesn't test it. He just assumes he's invisible, runs to the nearest bank, and just starts snatching money out of people's pockets and drawers and stuff. And they ended up, it sounded like a couple of them just overpowered him and took him right there in like the bank. And he was baffled on how they knew he was there.
You see me?
What?
Oh my God.
And all I imagine when I hear this story is some guy just like tiptoeing around, like, whoop, and like not noticing everyone is staring at him, but thinking 100% that he's invisible.
It would take like somebody like Bubbles from Trailer Park Boys or something like that, like somebody really, gullible or whatever.
The article never said anything about if drugs were involved, but I have my hunches.
Carissa says, "Oh no. Laugh my ass off." That's a great gimmick.
I know, and
I'd be the wizard. I bet he has personalized plates on his van. It says wizard. The Wiz.
Yeah, you met him at the dark side of the alley, and like, you want to know a spell?
You think he's got like yellow pages or something like that? Like he's really not a wizard. He just happens to be like a D&D dungeon master that like puts his services out to other groups.
And gives him like a crystal rock, and like every time you look at this and shake it 3 times, you'll be invisible for 45 seconds.
All of his accessories are 3D printed in his mom's basement. I sewed it myself. Oh man.
He's got like a Harry Potter sorting hat, like my wizard hat.
He's got a big foam Nerf sword that he has duct taped up for his lore presentation in his community college acting class.
Well, he looked official enough for this guy.
Wait a minute. How are you gonna come in and judge whether he's official or not? Like, power in robes, bro. Get out of here. Oh man.
I feel like if I paid someone $500 to be invisible, I would test it out first before I started. Like, I mean, would I use it for evil? Absolutely, right? Like, okay, yeah. But like, you think I would test it first? Test the waters.
I want to know how you test the legitimacy of a wizard, though. Do you have a card or something?
No, but I got a rabbit.
Holy shit! That's not the way you get me. You pull a rabbit out of a hat now. You go, oh, well, you have a rabbit, and I'm like, what? And then like all of a sudden I feel ears poking out of my ass. That's how you prove your legitimacy to me. What the?
Keep it up. Next, it's a pineapple. Do you believe me yet?
Oh man.
Bad Yelp review.
This guy is a phony.
Definitely a 3-star because we can't confirm he wasn't invisible at all.
Maybe it wore off.
None of my friends saw me. He's sitting there in front of his imaginary friends, this like stuffed animal. Like, you guys don't see me, do you?
What do you guys think? No, you don't see us either, do you?
I'm with you guys now.
Well, okay. Here, let me talk on mine real quick. My news story. Okay. Formally apologizes after smearing feces in a critic's face.
Well, I mean, did he deserve it?
So apparently this critic went to go see his show, trash it in whatever local paper or whatever. And so he went to him and grabbed crap out of a bag and smeared it across his face and on his clothes and stuff.
Wait, during the ballet?
No. After the guy reviewed it and it was bad, in a public place or something like that.
Got you. Because I was like, is there just bags of poo sitting at ballets? Like,
yes.
Where do you get a bag of poo?
Ryan, what's going on, buddy? Oh man, yeah. So that was so that's my news story. Nothing crazy on that one. But go ahead.
Tell you what, if that's all you have to do is apologize to someone
after smeared shit in their face,
I'm going off. I will write apology letters, and I'll just be like, "Eat this. Here's my note."
Just mass sign-in papers. Stamp.
It'd be express.
Oh man.
Speaking of poo, though,
you gotta send it through the post office with a signature where they have to sign for the apology letter. Go ahead.
Texas man,
okay,
was arrested. He broke into the Dallas Zoo.
Okay,
and kidnapped. I don't know if it's kidnapped 2 monkeys.
2 monkeys?
2 monkeys.
Okay, like big monkeys or
no? Emperor. Oh, I'm gonna say it wrong again. Emperor tamarin monkeys. Right.
I think it's tamarin. Yeah. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm wrong about a lot.
The rest of you won't be able to see this picture, but like, I'd almost want to steal one too. See, it looks like it has like a
giant mustache. Like a what is that? Avatar the Airbender that like hit the guy, like the old guy or whatever, has like that giant mustache.
Yeah. Definitely like a giant, like a kind of an
like
old
a sophisticated monkey, like a really Brian. He should try that with the wizard. Yeah, use the wizard to get the monkeys.
If only he knew a guy. It was that bad Yelp review. He's like, I don't trust this one.
I don't trust that wizard.
But
that's what I would do if I saw some like Yellow Pages thing and I had the money. I would just like go on quest with the wizard to try to find weird stuff throughout.
I'm telling you right now, if someone walks up to me and says, "I got $500 to make me invisible," I'll yell some chant, "Make you invisible, buddy."
Shamalama Leka, yeah.
But he took the monkeys and hung out with them for the night. And he found in a house where he decided just to kill them. And so he got charged with a couple counts of like animal cruelty and and he said too in jail, he's like, "You guys let me out, I'm gonna just go steal them again." He was open and I was like, "I'm gonna do it again."
That's awesome.
They're gonna be my monkeys.
You got monkeys? I'm there. Jesus.
I see. Next time he has to do it though, he's just gonna have to like carry like a barrel on his back.
Just all the monkeys come. All right, let me do my next one. So I'm going to premise this by saying I've been watching a lot of Yellowstone lately. Okay. So have you ever watched Yellowstone?
I've seen like 1 or 2 episodes.
Okay, so I really feel like this is a friend to friend. You really need to get into this show.
Everyone has been trying to get me into the show. And it doesn't sound. I mean, it doesn't seem like it's gonna be a bad one, but I just don't know if it's gonna be like the show. Like Sons of Anarchy was really good until it just wasn't.
I'm telling you right now. So I am up to season 4, and it is 100% Sons of Anarchy on horses. But it is that great. It's phenomenal, and there's an Indian presence as well. So there's the Cowboys versus Indians thing, and then there's like the corporate America versus the Cowboys versus the Indians kind of.
Okay.
Fantastic show. Anyhow, and it continues to get better, and they build upon it, and it really blows your mind. So this is just because they deal with this in the show a little bit about these touristy people up in the Yellowstone Mountains, blah, 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 blah. So this is a bison gores a woman in Yellowstone National Park, tosses her 10 feet in the air. So a woman from Grove City, Ohio, sustained a puncture wound and other injuries. It's because these city slicker, idiot ass, never been around wild animals people, and they take them out to these remote areas with.
The thing is she was probably like 1 of 6 this year. Like,
oh yeah, no,
it happens all the time.
It's the first reported one of the year. It's the first reported bison goring this year.
What, 2 months in?
Yes, it's the first one, but it happens a fair. She's 25. That doesn't surprise me.
No.
Oh man. But I mean, I'm all for bison goring. That's
like
great.
If you're out there like trying to do, like, you deserve it. I mean, I don't know what else to say.
I think your sister-in-law says I'm stealing that cup. We're gonna have a basic white girl showdown. Wait a minute. Okay.
Shaylin says it's over.
We got some chatter here. Let me go into this. Okay. Why does Kyle have a Stanley Cup? Well, because he won the Stanley Cup in hockey, and that was his going away prize.
I won this the Super Bowl weekend Stanley Cup.
Okay, so how do you say it? Shaylin. Okay. So Shaylin says, don't do it. I'm going to assume about watching Yellowstone. And then Brian says, I've been telling him forever. And then she says that it's overrated. And he goes, if they make it anime, you would love to watch that show.
You know what? I don't even hate him for that.
Full hentai and everything. Right, Brian? The only way you can watch it. She says she's stealing that cup. March right on over here and steal it.
Right. I stole it fair and square.
That's right. We're going to have a showdown for it, Mad Max style. You bring your wits about you. Let's get into this next beer. We're going to get it. So this is Ohms, I think, is what this one is. This is Ohms. It is Ohms. Okay, so this is from Belching Beaver Brewery out of Overland, California.
We've had a couple Belgian beavers.
We have Oceanside, California. Sorry, but this one's like I don't know. I think it's 5%, something like that. 5.5%. It is just a pale ale, but it drinks like a lager, in my opinion. So I've already had this one. So Ohms is from one of the Deftones songs or albums is Ohms, like their 8th studio album is Ohms. It's a good album. There you go. So Belching Beaver like just found a way to like weasel in and somehow got like Deftones to like collab on a bunch of beers, and so they have like at this point I think they have like 16 different Deftones beers or something crazy like that. Pretty cool. So
all right, you
ready? Go ahead. And it's pretty see-through. Smells good. Nothing crazy. Smells like regular lager kind of. Maybe a little bit of a IPA, but not like very, very, very subtle. Belching Beavers, right? It's just a little bit heavier than like a regular lager. It's got a little bit of that pine bite, but it's pretty subtle. It's nothing like super off-putting. This would probably be like a 7 for you-ish.
4.6.
What? You're fucking ludicrous. This guy. I just keep pitching him out, and he just keeps knocking them back.
You know, as many as we've had now, you think I would just start acquiring a taste and stuff, but it's just not the case.
It's because you don't dive into IPAs like I did. Like when I started like on my like IPA ascension or whatever, I like pounded a bunch of them to where I got to the point where like, oh, this IPA sucks in the IPA range, but this IPA is good. And then like I just settled in to where now it's such an accustomed taste that I just drink. I mean, 90% of what I drink is IPAs.
Well, so. I don't think I'm going to go there.
Well, you're fine. You're fine. Okay. What do you got? You had some questions.
So these are kind of like the would you rathers, but I guess do you want to do those or you want to do the facts?
I don't know. I didn't do any facts this week. The only reason is because I didn't prep with anything.
Okay. Well, German chocolate cake. Right,
okay.
Was invented in Texas.
Okay. No. So I believe you. So tell me why now.
So the German part of German chocolate cake comes from
German settlers
an American man, not an European country, specifically named Sam German.
You've got to be shitting me.
His name was Sam German. Has nothing to do with Germany.
I quit America because we have bananas ass stuff. French fries that were not French in any way.
We just steal cultures. It's kind of our thing.
French fries are called French fries because they're French cut. That's it. Like there's nothing to do with France and how they make potato based
turtle cake.
Whatever.
Never had a turtle cake with turtle in it.
Okay, get out of here with this one. But so German chocolate cake 100% my entire life assumed some kind of German
chocolate German. No, just guy's name is German.
Get out of here. I quit on this. Go ahead. What else? Tell me what else.
When I read it though, I was thinking like, oh, German. Like we just stole that from Germany too, and a lot of stuff we've stole from German. ICBMs. I mean, we took their scientists. That was us.
Really quiet showers.
You're wrong for that.
I mean, they're allowed at first, I guess. Anyhow. Come on. That's as much as I pushed the button this whole episode. Give me the one.
You're just going darker. Okay, so Philippines.
Okay.
Just interesting. Philippines are actually, so you knew that the Philippines are made up of like several islands, right?
Yeah. I have a favorite Filipino. Did you know that?
Favorite Filipino?
Yeah. Go ahead with your story. I'll tell you my favorite Filipino.
Okay. Well, I I thought,
I don't even know his name.
I
by
thought
the way.
there was, a couple islands that make up the Philippines.
No.
And I knew there was a lot. And I'm like, okay, maybe it's a couple hundred, whatever, something like that. It's 7,641 islands that make up the Philippines.
It's a lot.
That is a lot. I was way under 1,000. I'm like, okay, it's a lot of islands. So it's like, couple hundred. No, not even close.
It's a whole section of a ocean, essentially.
Yeah. At that point, like, do they know they have that many islands? Like, because like,
yes.
Oh yeah,
but it's because they're not together. Then that's why they're not threatening. Because they're all a bunch of little guys on little islands. That
I feel like one island could be like, you know what, we're done. We're going to be
the craziest thing about the Philippines is not every island is self-governing, right? So you have certain islands that like govern certain other islands as like, we'll say states, because that's how people relate it. And so there's like states within and whatever. And so certain groups of islands are like, can you imagine having to like get on a boat and go to a different island to go get license plates for your car that you're going to only drive on one island or whatever? It happens all the time there. It's crazy.
That would
doesn't make any sense.
Tell me your favorite Filipino.
Oh, I don't even know his name. He's the lead singer of. He's a Filipino guy. Fantastic, amazing voice. I have a second favorite Filipino.
Oh, okay.
The second favorite Filipino is Sophia Roach. She's one of my best friends not growing up after high school, before I really like settled into life. One of my best friends was Andrew Roach. His wife's name is Sophia Roach.
Okay.
And she's a knockout and she's article, and she's my second favorite Filipino. But I like how he sings better than her, so I'm gonna go with him as my first favorite. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
A one-way trip on the Trans-Siberian Railway involves crossing 3,901 bridges.
I had a joke that I was gonna say, and then I decided not to for the sake of the podcast. That's a lot of bridges. That seems like an obscene amount of bridges. But you're going across. So Trans-Siberian is Russia.
In Russia, yeah.
Russia's like one of the largest countries in the world, and so like one end to the other is like 20 something thousand. Or no. Okay, I'm wrong. It's like
no. It says the journey takes 7 days.
3,000 or 4,000 miles or something like that is how wide Russia is. I want to say it's an obscene number like that.
Well, it says the journey takes 7 days, and they pass through 8 different time zones.
So America would be from one end to the other on train is 5 days, and then you pass through 4.
Is it 4? Well,
it's a train. Trains are a lot slower.
I mean, time zones.
It's only 4. You're right. You have Eastern, Central, Mountain. West or whatever. What Pacific?
Yeah, Pacific.
So 4. We only have 4.
Okay,
but that's crazy. That's really, really wild. Misha, what's going on? Misha's on my Tiki Talks. What's going on, girl? She used to live in Grand Island, and then she moved far, far away and lives where there's bears and beavers and whatnot right on her doorstep. I don't remember where she moved.
Watch out for the moose.
I don't think she has to deal with moose. I think she's too far
south.
There's
bears and beavers.
She's had to deal with bears, I think, for sure. And then now she has a monkey or a small infant, whatever, one of the two. She has she's a child.
That's the difference.
But yeah, no, we were just talking about I was just talking about the old crew. I just said something about Andrew a second ago. So yeah. I don't have any more. I have zero.
I got
facts.
some would you rathers.
Yeah, let's.
But like these are a little bit different than like how we've usually done.
Oh, okay.
In the fact that like, okay, so I'll just go ahead and ask you this: which of these cinematic universes would you rather live in?
Okay.
Middle Earth, Lord of the Rings.
Negative.
Wizarding World, Harry Potter. Superheroes, Marvel or DC. Jurassic Park, Star Wars, or Avatar. You could do Airbender or Avatar.
I think you were going for blue people. I
would go either way with that one though.
Okay. despite that, the I hate to say it, but the closest to reality and probably safest one is Harry Potter out of all of those.
Yeah.
Right? Because if you go Jurassic Park, you have dinosaurs all over the globe at this point. If you go Avatar, you have to really be on one point or the other, and it's either what is Americans.
Brian chooses Yellowstone.
Yellowstone. I wouldn't live on that ranch.
You are in that cinematic universe. You're just not a part of that.
I would live on a different ranch, not Yellowstone. You know, to get taken to the train station.
I would probably choose Harry Potter as well.
Yeah, I think so.
Would you choose being a Muggle or a wizard?
No, wizard all the way.
Wizard all the way.
And as much as I'm not Slytherin, I'd be Slytherin. Slytherin down your no. But just I just think I would be. I have too much of an aptitude for that, and I know that paints a bad picture, but like I'm quick to make fun of people, despite how bad that probably is in reality. I'm quick to that. So like I'm like that part of that would probably be, in most of my intentions, for the most part, are based on something I want in my heart, but they're usually selfish. So
okay. I do want to like go down though and like go Lord of the Rings.
No, absolutely.
Who would ever want to be in that universe willingly?
Nah, you could be eaten at all times. It seems like
they're always at war with something.
Nah, absolutely not.
Everyone's trying to kill everyone all the time.
No. You're a slave, or you're hard pass. Yeah.
And then there was the superheroes, Marvel and
Unless
DC.
I'm Gandalf, then I can maybe. We'll see.
No, I wouldn't want that.
But even then, I feel like times are hard, right? Even living in a castle, you're like shitting in like probably a hole or something. No, it's terrible. Nah.
But the superheroes one, Marvel or DC, here's my issues with that.
You're on the cusp.
Everything's always under attack. Like,
yeah.
Unless you're a superhero, but then at the same point, you're trying to like do everything for everyone.
The world is in peril every day. Absolutely not. Right? No.
It wouldn't be my good. It's a great movie, great cinematic, whatever.
So
don't want to be involved in it.
So, okay, a great case in point, right, is they talk about when that whole city or country or whatever got picked up and fell from where Romoff and Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver were from. I don't remember
what.
Something Ovia. I don't remember now. So that's like a whole city being picked up, turned around, and like smashed into the ground, right? And then in Black Panther, that building gets blown up or whatever. It is just like a more severe version of what happens every day to us. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Jurassic Park. No, I don't want to have to fight dinosaurs. Like, the only thing about that really upsets me is they make it seem like these dinosaurs are like, oh, it's so hard to kill them. No, it's not.
Don't you fucking go there with me. Oh, it's so easy to kill a dinosaur, but a moose is impossible to kill. It is impossible to do anything with.
Difference.
You're talking about dinosaurs. You're talking about creatures that are 4, 5, 6 times the weight of a moose, and you're like, easy to kill. But a moose, absolutely not.
Okay.
Out of the question.
But I'm not talking bare hands fist fight. Okay, I'm not gonna go
Addy
fist fight T-Rex. You can't even reach me anyway.
Brian, come get your fucking brother.
But a 50 cal that'll put down a T-Rex easy. Okay.
Oh, there's a gun company that has a gun that is rated T-Rex.
Pew pew.
Oh. Ooh, okay. I think I just said it one time. Anyhow, so there is a company that sells those things that on the website, the animals that were rated in that or whatever, one of them is dinosaurs. And it's because he uses that thing in the movie. and so it's the only one that's rated to shoot T-Rexes or whatever. If you look on the website, I don't remember what.
But
it might
if
be
you were in the Jurassic Park world,
no way.
I don't want that.
No, absolutely not.
They act like they can't be expired. Like they can't. Oh, the Velociraptors are so fat. No, they're really not.
Just hit him with a red card.
Got a lot about it.
A lot of looks, yes, but
so off. But that's where I roll.
Did you watch the last one? Have you seen the last one since it came out?
No.
So the last one is, it opens up. The scene is like they're like crab fishing, and they're like pulling it up, and that big like the big water one comes out of the thing and like clamps onto it and like pulls the whole boat, flips the whole boat or whatever. And I'm like, that's exactly 100% what the world would be like. It would just be chaos everywhere. I'm out on that one.
Star Wars.
No. I don't get me wrong. I have a Star Wars tattoo. They are joining on the podcast right here. We have Lando, and Chewie and Luke and Obi-Wan
of Star Wars. That would be awesome.
I'm gonna hard pass.
But there's way more like your mom going into slavery type things. I'm gonna solid pass.
There's a lot of stuff like that. All over the place. Like I agree. It's like there's just too much. You're either set or you're slaves or worse, or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, no, I'm out on that one.
Avatar is probably my second. And
if I was a blue people,
yes.
Yeah.
That's my solid second. Avatar, like Airbender, probably a solid third, assuming we're not in the whole war with the four nations, like we're after that. And I would still want to be, if you couldn't be Avatar, which
anime?
No. Water, wind, fire, earth. What would you like to bend? Element is the word I'm looking for. If you couldn't be Avatar, you had to pick one. I would pick Earth.
Okay, so I've watched one episode of Avatar in my entire life.
How have you not?
Because I'm weird about it, Kyle.
Okay, but you know what I'm talking about, like with water bending and stuff.
I enough to where I can.
Okay, so just what element would you pick?
I'm probably fire. I really am.
Really? I'm fire though. Like, what would you?
You know what?
I could you know what? I need a shed. Woo!
Listen, growing up, I used to
lived in the cold.
Listen, I used to put
mom and dad didn't have a heater on.
Massive amounts of lighter fluid in ashtrays and catch things on fire. And I found out how much lighter fluid it takes to blow a 2-inch thick ashtray in half, catch the coffee table on fire, and have it rain down onto the rug and burn a hole in the rug. And then I had to clean everything up, and I had to sit on the hole that was burning the rug all night long so I didn't get in trouble. I know how much that takes. So I'm leaning towards fire.
So you can just burn everything down. Brian says he would just put your stuff out. Follow-up question, Brian. Would you do waterbending strictly just because you want to use it for fishing, or is there a specific reason? Like,
we're going down a weird rabbit hole on this one.
I legitimately was thinking, like, man, I could make a chair. I can make pods.
Okay. You know what? Here, if we're gonna dive into this, a little bit,
take a building down that I don't want.
I want to know. I want to know your answer. Okay, so here we go. What anime was the first anime you remember watching in your natural born life? It was not a cartoon, like an anime, like a.
If you're talking about like first ever, I remember watching, hands down, Dragon Ball Z probably, but it's not the one that got me into anime.
Okay. Go ahead.
So I watched that when I was a kid. It was great. Yeah. Didn't mind it. Whatever. Didn't watch anime for 20 years. Whatever. And then I got probably into it until when I'm probably about my 30s, honestly. And I started watching Naruto.
Oh, see, and I didn't watch any of that either.
Is what kind of got me into it, and then from there I just kind of
I've got completely different answers than you.
Okay,
mind you, I'm older than you. Okay, so that's going to change everything. Mine is definitely not Pokemon. I don't think I've ever watched.
Never seen an episode.
I don't think I've ever watched an episode of Pokemon ever. So the very first anime I ever watched in my life was Ninja Scrolls. And Ninja Scroll is like when anime used to be dirty. There's sex scenes and like all kinds of like stuff. And so like it was crazy. And they probably showed it to me when I was like 8 or 10 or something. You know what I mean? Because it was like, oh look, it's like essentially it was like cartoon porn, or you know what I mean, or whatever. And I had like a cousin show me, but it was cool. The rest of it was cool, really gory, whatever. Like some anime is. The anime that really got me to where like I enjoy anime, and keep in mind I don't watch a lot of it now. I watch like Cowboy Bebop here and there, and like a few others, but very rarely do I ever watch it now. The one that got me into it was Neon Genesis Evangelion, which is like the equivalent of Pacific Rim, but like 30 years ago it started as an anime or whatever. And then that's what I watched.
Didn't they have a video game for that or something?
Yeah,
too?
probably at one time.
I think I remember that.
But there's like people in big giant robots that fight aliens. So that's essentially what it came down to.
Okay. So that's all I have for the questions, was kind of that.
Okay.
But I do have like an experiment that I thought of. And I just kind of wanted to like.
Sure.
If you were to like hold out your hand in front of your face and just spit in it. Okay. Just imagine you spit in your hand.
Yep.
Is it gross to you if you lick it back up?
Yeah. Spit? Probably, yeah.
Yeah. Why?
Because there's usually snot in it too.
Okay, but no snot. You just in your hand.
I probably would. If it's just because,
but like you're okay. You're like, oh, that's not gross. You're like, oh.
I'm kind of a dirtbag though.
I was thinking about
like I'm a super classy.
Because in your head,
bag,
you're thinking, I'm looking up spit.
But I'm still a dirtbag.
But if you think about it, that spit was in your mouth not 3 seconds ago.
Yeah, it probably deserves to be in your mouth more than it deserves to be on your hand. That's probably the rationalization.
Yeah. But that's what I was thinking about the other day, and I don't know why I even thought about it, but I thought, why does it seem really gross?
We've talked about something similar to this.
We did?
Yes. Okay, ready? Is it okay to pee in a pool? Sure.
Oh,
is it okay if you're standing outside of the pool and you're peeing into the pool? No, you're an asshole then. We've talked about this. Maybe it's not quite a thing. It's a different thing.
But the spit, not gross. Because spit it on your hand, look at it.
Nah.
And it's like, oh, that's gross. I'm not going to put that in my mouth. I'm probably going
to pass.
But
because there's other okay, yikes. There's other things that come out of my body that go into my hand that I don't think, oh, this needs to go in my mouth.
Poop? Yes. The answer is yes.
No.
And Brian,
no.
Why do I think about it? Well, random things come to me at random times.
It's a good brain exercise because you're right. It hasn't changed anything. The molecular structure of what it physically is has not changed from where it is here to where it is here. However, is it different once it exits? It's different because it exits.
Yeah.
But it's everything. It's across the board. It would be this, it would be that, if it exits. Now, here's the only way that it turns around, right? I am not trying to suck the Cosbys back up into my body after I've expelled them. You know what I mean? Like that would be like no, you don't do that. I think it's an exits thing. Once it exits your body, it's a whole different thing.
A whole different ballgame.
It's a whole different thing.
Because technically, urine is sterile.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And if the circumstances required it,
with minimal filtration,
I still feel like that's different than spit because spit is already in your mouth.
Yeah, I don't. God, there's
saliva is already a thing.
It's a weird thing. So okay, here we go. go. Brian says, question of the night. Let's read this out loud. If it ever moves over to the other. Okay. Question of the night. Is a barbecue considered a grill, or the action of grilling, going to a barbecue versus eating barbecue? Ooh. Okay. It's because it's two different things, Brian. It's not the same thing. Okay. So going to a barbecue is a function. A barbecue would be going to a function where a grill is involved to make the food that you're going to consume while you're at this event. That is a noun. A barbecue is a noun at that point. And it's a noun when you're talking about barbecue if it is barbecued, which would be you're talking barbecue sauce, whatever, say like ribs or something like that, would be barbecue because it falls under that pretense or whatever.
Yeah.
But then barbecuing things would be grilling things.
Going to a grill.
Yeah. Going to a grill, you can't say. Exactly. So a
Going
barbecue is a noun. Barbecue is in barbecue sauce based meat product is a noun, but then barbecuing is a verb that you would.
While we're on that rabbit trail of weird thoughts,
okay,
is gravy considered a sauce?
Yeah,
like yes. Sauce, mustard. It's all in the same as a sauce.
It's not a condiment, but it's a sauce.
Okay.
Condiments.
I'll take that.
In my opinion, condiments are available to be consumed and will contain 9 out of 10 times you don't buy a squirt gravy. $1 million idea. Squirt.
We will now.
Squirt gravy. All I think of are these like really insinuating commercials, like where you're like squirting gravy.
But I also feel like it falls in the realm of like a soup.
No, not gravy. Gravy's an addition. It has to be an addition to be a sauce. It has to be right because like the best breakfast pizza is not cheese; it is gravy, eggs, sausage, blah blah blah. Okay, is this a Mandela effect thing or not? Do you remember Casey's Pizza used to have gravy as the sauce and not cheese, and now it's cheese on all their breakfast pizza and not gravy? Or am I wrong? We're talking Casey's Pizzas here, people. Casey's Pizzas.
I don't know if it's. I feel like they had the option. I thought there was always the option of gravy.
I swear I remember eating Casey's breakfast pizza where the sauce for the pizza was gravy and not cheese sauce, where now it's a cheese sauce. And then whatever.
I wonder if you could do like biscuit dough on top of the pizza and do like a biscuit and gravy.
So you're talking
pizza.
like a bazzone?
Anyhow.
Hey, we got another beer.
Ooh, we better get it because we're basically on the
we're on the end. We can figure something else to talk about. Brian, give us a topic while we talk about this beer. This beer is another banger from Weldworks Brewing Company out of Greeley, Colorado. It is Blueberry Huckleberry Sour Pie Ale.
Okay.
Try to say that one time because it's not the easiest thing to say.
Blueberry Huckleberry Sour Pie Ale.
See, because you want to say pie after both of them. It kind of catches you off guard. Anyhow, this is sour ale with blueberry puree, huckleberry, graham cracker, cinnamon, milk, sugar, and vanilla. It is a not 5.7%. Okay, could be $1 million. Yeah, Brian, we know already. Tell us the topic. What do we want to talk about? What are you most excited for coming into spring? What do you? I know. Yeah,
I'm so over the cold.
You know what? As fat guys, we really shouldn't be, right? As fat guys,
we got that 60-degree day last week, and I was done with winter. Dude, I was past it. I was like, okay, I'm good. I'm ready for winter or summer now.
Windows down in my truck. I was like, oh man,
it was amazing. Now I don't need like 120 and whatnot. Now,
No.
My work is actually sending me to Houston for a conference.
For how long?
4 days, but I'm sure. I mean, it'll be like a 5-day.
You need +1,
right? But here is
Houston. Hell yeah!
But it's in June.
Yeah, I don't care. I'll go in Houston.
Oh, I think it's gonna be terrible, but
no,
it'll be a good thing. But it's like, oh man,
no. Texas is the same thing as like Vegas. It's dry heat. You take whatever you think of a number for heat. You cut 20 degrees off of that, and that's about how it feels. So when we were, keep in mind, this has been 6 years ago or something like that. When I was in Vegas, it was 105 degrees outside.
Blueberries.
105 degrees outside, but it was dry heat. It felt like 85 here. It was so pleasant. You know what I mean? Like it was hot, but it wasn't like, where you have like a lakeside visitor down.
I actually like the smell of this one.
No, this is really good. This smells really good. Okay, so this is blueberry and huckleberry. Huckleberry is usually more like huckleberry is more. I would assume bitter.
Okay.
Bitter. Hold on. God damn it. Okay. Okay, I'm good. Cancun is nice, 80 degrees last week. Brian, can you get a real job?
That one's a little more sour. It is not bad. I would give this an 8 as well.
So this is made in that same kettle sour. I'm really surprised. So usually, if you do this much pronounced flavor profile for the fruit, you usually do like a fruited sour, which means that you put fruit in the beginning in like the mush or whatever, and then you also put it in, or mash, sorry, you put it in the beginning, and then you also, like when you go to like dry hop, essentially you would put it in, so it would have like a really pronounced flavor. But usually you don't have kettle sour. Usually you use a different kind of thing that's a little like usually lactose will like take it down. This is actually really pleasant. I like the little bite to the bitter mixed with this with the blueberry. It's really pleasant actually.
I do not.
Weldworks out of Greeley, Colorado. Knocking it out of the park. I'll have to check them out. I'll be in Greeley, Colorado probably this summer sometime. So I'll have to go check it out. Do a little tour.
Grind my gears.
Ooh, okay. Next. No, yeah. I got one. I got one for you.
Okay. Up to today's market. I'm just going to tell you right now, if your car is over 15 years old, your truck, and it's got over 200,000 miles, at best, on its best day, worth $5,000. Stop asking for $20,000 for a car that's 20 years old, has 200,000 miles on it. I don't care what you think the market is.
It's not cars. It's not cars.
It's pickups.
It's pickups.
It's trucks.
It's pickups. It's pickups.
It's not worth that.
So I'll add on to this. My 94 Silverado sat in my driveway on ramps for almost a year when we moved here because transmission was out on it. I had a guy offer $6,000 for it, as is bad transmission. $6,000 for my truck. I mean, I kind of wanted to take it at that time, but it's kind of sentimental. But like my biological dad gave it to me. It's one of the realistically the only things besides some of these tools and stuff like that, he bought for me. But like this is the one thing he gave to me. I think it'd be cool. I really like the truck. I like that body style. I've always liked that, so I want to keep it. But $6,000 was like, oh, okay. Now that market is going to dwindle real hard. It's going to fall off here pretty quick, and then we'll be back to
all these trucks were like
$1,000 trucks or
yeah. 10 years ago at the most. And it's like they're nice trucks. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it looks like some of them don't look bad, but it still has over 200,000 miles on a gas engine. That's the original engine, the original transmission, the original underbody. It is not worth that because some of them are asking like $15,000, and it's like, okay, cool. Now I'm going to have to put another $6,000 into a new engine or something within who knows how long.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I agree with you. I tell you what, The coolest one that I saw, and I agree, was God dang, why is that not? We're having some issues with that, but that's okay. So a dealer had brought in a square body Chevy that was like a 96 or a 97. It was the Eddie Bauer colors, so it would have been like the green on top with like the tan, like gradient down at the bottom or whatever. But it had 5,000 miles on it, 6,000 miles on it, or something like that. All original. All, like, everything in this truck was original.
Okay.
A dealer brought it in, 35 grand. The dealer paid that guy for it. 35 grand. I was like, holy shit. But it was a brand new, like, 96 square, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
all stock, everything, every option. It was just like they almost like they drove it home, parked it in the garage, and never touched it, kind of thing. Like, I was like, wow, that's really.
Yeah.
But it's because
that's still a lot, but like you could almost like because that truck did not cost 35 off the lot.
Oh yeah. Oh no, never.
So,
yeah. No, I agree. Did you see? So we were looking for stories. I didn't write this one down, but Harley Davidson had a 1906 or something like that come up for auction. Like Dixon took like $96,000 or something ridiculous like that. Like just ridiculous money. I was like, and it set the record for the most of motorcycles ever brought to a auction. It was pretty cool. So Brian pops in here, square body Chevy, clapped out, selling for 6 to 10 grand. It's all over the place. It's wild. Shaylin's saying taking recommendations on almost midnight snack options limited. Okay.
Oreos is always a go-to.
Okay.
Oreos or Pringles.
So you go sweet. So we'll talk about. Here's a great little rabbit hole we can go down for a second. So midnight hits, right? So your late night snack, you go sweet usually.
Yeah, probably.
So
what do you throw, like a bunch of hot dogs in the microwave and just gobble them down?
So I'll go savory, but I usually do like ramen noodles or something like that. So I go savory. I don't go
I'm
sweet.
not looking for anything that's gonna make me cook a bunch. Like I'm just trying to like
no, and I try not to also, and so I'll do that. But I will tend to go savory. So I'll go chips rather than Oreos or whatever. So, but my stuff goes in waves. So I'll go the beginning of my night, right? Will be like savory stuff, and then once I get to a point, my savory's done, and I'll want sweet, and then I'll have a couple of sweet things or whatever. Where like
ramen's on the stove. I mean, your kids probably have some Valentine's candy. Just go steal it. They're sleeping.
There you go, giggity. What is Nathan Figurner? What?
Her brother.
Oh, okay. I was like, what is on their cereal?
You think like those fig bars or
Fig Newtons?
Fig Newtons.
I was like, what does that say? Cereal. Cereal's
I have cereal, but my kids, like, I will buy my kids Lucky Charms, whatever. I'll get the cereal, and then I get Reese's Puffs. They will eat all of my cereal before they touch theirs, knowing they like theirs more anyway.
That's the story of your life, bro.
And then my wife is like, "Oh man, these are great. I'm going to give these." And it's like they know that's mine. They like, I don't.
You gotta have a.
I'm gonna have to get a freaking lock on my cabinet.
Nathan's in here. The brother-in-law brother.
They're not, except they're like dry. Like you have to have some milk.
I love Fig Newtons. I really do. So and I agree with you. They are dry.
They're dry.
My favorite thing is that they brought up Fig Newtons in Big Bang Theory, and that Fig Newtons are not named after Isaac Newton. They are named after like a Newton something where they were invented or whatever. It has nothing to do with
like German cake.
Yes. Captain Crunch, get out of here. Nobody is saying the winner. The real winner of all breakfast cereals. 100% Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Cinnamon Toast Crunch is hands down the best cereal ever.
I was just about to say that, Shaylin. That square Captain Crunch is like trying to eat razor blades.
It's so bad. It is like literally out there. Just
you have to wait for it to get soggy so you're not like just ripping your face open.
Tearing the roof of your mouth apart like sails. Oh, man.
And Cinnamon Toast Crunch, it is good. I don't know if I'll put it number one, but it's probably in the top 5 easy.
Nathan says Lucky Charms marshmallows only. Listen, you're not eating cereal at that fucking point. You're eating marshmallows with milk in it. That's totally different. That would be like, oh, here, let me give you this big bowl of sugar with the milk in it. Who cares? That's not cereal at that point.
I did not like.
Put one Frosted Flake in there.
I did not like Lucky Charms when I was a kid.
Really?
I did not like them.
No, because the Lucky Charms cereal tastes like shit.
It was why I didn't like the mushrooms part. Or the mushrooms.
That's a whole different. That's a whole different.
Always jumped out and chased me.
That's really Lucky Charms at that point. That's what that. Fucking leprechauns everywhere. You think that's how it was invented? He was eating mushrooms with marshmallows and he got them confused. And he's like, look at all these magically delicious leprechauns just running there. Oh, man.
Wait till you figure out how Trix was made. Do you remember Kix?
I've heard about the 80s. I know how tricks are made. Got to pay that rent somehow. The mascot changed over the years. It went from a bunny to a girl that used to have a bunny tattoo on her ass. But tricks are for kids, no doubt. You don't want to catch charges.
I seen a show the other day that says, or a TikTok the other day was saying 1 + 1 = 3. Let me show you the math. So if you take one down here and you take one over here, you're gonna have to multiply it here. You're gonna have to look at this here. And basically, moral of the story is 1 + 1 without protection = 3.
That's fair. That's fair.
But do you remember Kix? Kix.
Yes.
Okay. I
garbage
love
cereal.
No, and then corn. Like this little corn cereal. I think it was just called corn. I don't know. It was like yellow box.
That's some government
Maybe it was
cheese.
Just Kix.
That's some government cheese cereal. Was it a white box that just said cereal on the side of it?
We were poor, so no.
Yeah, I know. Me too, bro. I just don't remember those.
I'll look.
Okay, corn cereal. It's your fucking.
Breakfast. I know puffs. Thank you, Shaylin. Corn puffs.
Corn puffs. That's a whole different thing.
I loved them when I was a kid.
Oh, corn puffs.
Loved them.
They taste good.
They have changed the recipe.
Are they shit now?
It's trash.
Oh, that's no good. Oh man. What else do we got here? Nathan says nice basic white girl Stanley Cup. You need to show up to the show earlier. That's what you need to do. Kyle, tell them eggs are expensive joke. What? You have an eggs are expensive joke?
I don't think so.
It says tell them the eggs are expensive joke. And then it says corn puffs. I pour my cereal an hour before I eat it just so it's nice and saturated. Trash. Now basically healthy.
I don't do it an hour before. I will I found out there is freaks out there who put milk before the cereal.
That's ludicrous.
They take the bowl, they put milk in it, and then they put cereal in it.
Okay, here we go. That's the same people who think it's an adventure to like switch places with their spouse in bed. So you sleep on the wrong side of the bed. Go home and push her to the wrong side of the bed and just see if fireworks just don't erupt through the fucking roof. Somebody sat and heard, yeah, you just change it up. Sleep on the other side of the bed. I go, are you a monster? What are you talking about? There's no way you couldn't pay me a year's salary to sleep on the opposite side of the bed that I sleep on now. Get out of
Who
here.
puts ice in their milk?
Wait, who? What?
You might as well make it just skim milk at that point.
Shaylin says, you think eggs are expensive? Just wait until you fertilize one.
Oh.
Giggity.
I remember that one now.
There we go. And then, what's the opinion on ice in your milk? Jeffrey Dahmer was a sick and twisted human being. And he probably put milk. Yikes! Turn that whole milk into 1%. Gross. That's not how that happens.
We're not doing like that. Cold milk though. Like,
oh, I love cold milk.
The verge of freezing, like.
Let me tell you a little story.
Oreo in it.
So my favorite milk, right, is 3:24 in the morning a.m. on the stove clock. You crack open that fridge and you have no will, no desire to go and grab a fucking glass out of the cabinet. So you just drink it right out of the carton and you just keep drinking because you're super thirsty. You just drink 24, 30 ounces of milk and then you set it down and you about cry because of how cold it is. That's the kind of milk that I like.
Nathan lives for that's weird.
My bad. 2 large dents in it unless you rotate it every 10,000 hours. Oh, my bed has 2 large dents in it. God damn it, I didn't read that right.
You have a timer you put on that?
10,000 hours. I tell you what, my bed's like that. It's memory foam. And it remembers that I'm a fat ass and my side's lower than her side is. My problem is, so I don't have a headboard for obvious reasons. I don't have a headboard. But my bed likes to scoots away from the wall some. So every third day, I'll have a pillow that'll dive back. I have 4 pillows on my side.
My wife can't figure out why I have extra pillows. And it's like I gotta fill this hole because I lose a pillow.
Yeah, every so often you have to pull pillows. You shove the bed back against the wall. Oh, it's so annoying. I'm gonna put some Velcro on that or something. Stop it from fucking going. Shayla, what's the obvious reason? What's the obvious reason for
He's
what?
Poor. You have no headboard.
Oh, what's the obvious reason why I don't have a headboard? No. I have plenty of money for a headboard. I don't have enough for drywall repair, though. So
I already know.
I just leave the headboard off. Just leave it off.
Yeah, we like to sleep with our heads up.
Yeah, I like to. And I'm not even a honhole, and I love a lot of pillows. You can't watch Yellowstone laying down, or else you're gonna miss.
Our bed has a tilt. Like I can tilt our bed up.
No, you don't.
We do.
You have a hospital bed.
I mean, I guess
you have an old people bed. You have a numbers bed or whatever.
The foot thing goes up too. So
get out of town.
And the problem with that though is when you do that, it actually shoves the bed a little bit further.
Yeah.
That's where it shifts away from my wall. So if I put it up, I have to put it down, then kick my bed back up against the wall.
Yeah.
So
do you ever do it to where she's elevated and you're flat or whatever?
Because we don't have two separate. So
you have to do it all at the same.
It's all or nothing. So we're both either up or down or whatever.
I'm telling you right now, this is what would happen. I would have that bed for.
I'm telling you, it's very strong.
Less than a week. Less than a week is what I'm telling you. And then we would have it in the raised head, raised foot platform, and I would try to throw some moves, and it would just throw me off. You know what? We're selling this motherfucker. That's what's happening.
Just one of those mechanical bull.
One of those the shakers for the big concrete forms or whatever. Just no. And yes, we have a tilt bed too, and it vibrates and has undercarriage lights.
Sounds like a conversion van.
Bro, live in a car bed, you sweet car bed. My roommates are gonna get me.
It's got a 10-inch tube TV.
My roommates are gonna get me a radio and rims for Christmas. It's fucking sweet.
Are the undercarriage lights aftermarket?
Nobody wants to see that lit up from the Nobody wants to see Brian lit up from the bottom. Not a single person.
Now they flash red and blue.
Tell you right now, light that shit up from the bottom is all hurt feelings. That's all you're getting.
You have to change the settings. Like we came under the door and the can't go in right now. Mom and Dad are
black. Flashes yellow and black. Oh, caution. It's okay, Brian. I have an on-air light in my bedroom for that. I just click the little button when we're. Oh no! I gotta tell you. Okay, how long have we lived in this house? 3 years almost, or something like that, right? Like so our bedroom door is never sold.
Oh no.
Okay, so the bedroom, it just never has, right? Maybe twice, right? Nothing crazy. You know, they probably saw some ass or whatever. Nothing, you know.
Dark star.
Bad enough, right? But it's never. That door is never shut. And I just, you know what? My daughter's room's got a lock on it. My other daughter's room, her door's shut. She has like a lock on the handle. We have a lock on ours too. It just doesn't shut. It never shut all the way. So I just finally took 2 seconds and unscrewed the plate, and I cut out this much wood, and I put the plate back on, and it shuts great every time now. And I'm thinking to myself, it's been 3 years. And our door is never shut. We've had to try to keep dogs trapped in there, and it hasn't happened, and they nose their way out and whatever. 5 minutes. You know what? If you hear anything from this podcast, just take 5 minutes a day to do something in your house you've been putting off for 4 years, and it'll change your life. It will change your life. So now, you know what doesn't happen anymore? Nobody walks in on us changing the sheets or whatever, you know, adults do, you know. That thing. Let's see. Wait, hold on. You have lights too, Costas. You have lights underneath your bed?
I have them. I wonder if she's talking about the ones that like go around my kid's headboard and stuff. For
like, yeah. Your son's lights are cool on his Spider-Man bed. Nathan, did you hit up the taco truck? Wait, where is he at that there's a taco truck? I would be so, you know what? I would pay good money to have a taco truck at 11 o'clock at night in Fullerton, Nebraska. That was the best thing about living in Grand Island is you get food until 4 a.m. or something like that. You know, if you really wanted it. Here, nah. As soon as Casey's and Dollar General closes, you are SOL. Like there's until 5 a.m. And then there's
York is the worst.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like all their stuff closes at 10. It doesn't open until like 7 a.m.
And it's want some more of this? Or do you?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
But they're at like I-80 and Highway 81. Biggest, like, longest highway or whatever, busiest interstate. Yeah. And they're right there at the median point. And they're like, you know what? Everything's going to close at 10.
That's bogus. Dollar Gin Trail? What? Dollar Gin Trail. That's a Gent Trail. Dollar General is what I said.
We already did grind our gears.
I know. I didn't chime in. What grinds my gears? Okay. I've got a simple one.
Okay.
Nothing crazy, right? I want to be able to have some kind of communication device with this younger generation of people. Okay? Because
cattle prong.
If I if I have to listen to one more conversation that includes the words bussin' or
you know what the word bothers me is fina.
Oh yeah.
F-I-N-N-A. I hate that word.
Oh yeah. That or no cap. One more person says no cap to me, I'm gonna knock their cap off their top of their head. It's just like, and don't get me wrong, I'm sure that our generation to our parents had this communication thing where we had certain words or whatever. But at this point, you're sounding autistic. These sentences that you make up don't come together as a sentence. You have weird slang that doesn't fit. It doesn't make sense. It's just it means something to you guys, and then what? You know what? And this is the old person in me talking. I know it really is. I'm not 40 years old yet, but I'm getting quite there. Get off of this dumb shit you say. There was a great thing, I shared it on like Facebook or whatever, where this couple comes up and they talk or whatever, and it's like it's supposed to be like an exaggerated version of like this Gen Z talk or whatever, and it has a lot of that no cap, queen, this and that and everything. And I understood kind of what they were saying, and I was mad that I understood kind of what they were saying, because I'm like, this is all gibberish. This is all crap. And I don't want any part of it anymore. That's where I'm at with that. Well, there's true. 3-year-olds aren't any better, as in Kyla referred to a blanket as a kiki. You know what, though? Kids are different. Kids get the pass.
Here's the word that bothers me, and I don't know how to tell that people, because triggered. Like every time I hear someone say like I'm triggered or this is triggered, when I hear the word triggered, like it triggers me, and I'm like, I hate the fact that I can't tell me because I hate the word.
So our oldest daughter has one. She has 2 kids. I think she's 19. She's 19 now. 19, 2 kids under 2 years of age.
Aspiring to greatness.
Yeah, right. You know what? She's doing really good. I don't want to make this sound in any way, shape, or form. She finished high school. She is maintaining a full-time job. Anytime that she's not been pregnant, she has maintained a full-time job. She's done really well. And when she's around her kids, she does really well. I'm not going to say anything bad about that. My problem is that what the fuck? What did I just get?
Is it about a word? Triggered?
Oh, she comes and she'll say to us a lot that she is overstimulated.
Ugh.
She's just overstimulated a lot. And I want to rip the fucking roof off of my house.
Welcome to adulthood.
Yeah. Guess what? You signed the dotted line when you had a kid. That's the first step. And then you realize how adulting is not fun in any way, shape, or form. And it makes you hate your life most days because it's not fair. There's nothing fair about regular life in general. There's people that come to your job and have worked there for a month that make the same as you after you've been there for 10 years. There's all kinds of things like that. And you're like, and then for her to come, she's like, oh man, these kids are overstimulating me. I'm like, oh yeah, you know what? I was overstimulated for going on 18 years now. I've been whatever. Yeah, same, bro. Get out of here.
They're in my house too.
Oh man. I'm like, ugh. But anyhow, that's grind my gears. You know what?
Wraps it up.
That wraps it up. And I know that I've been meandering on this whole episode, and it is what it is. I'm having a good time. Everybody's having a good time. Guess what? I got removed from live access. What was it? It'll be back the 23rd. That'll be next week at 11.
Well, I guess I'll just wait.
I guess because you're still up. I don't know how I got banned and you were still up, but I wonder what I said.
I'm sure they'll get to me eventually.
It is what it is. Anyhow, this has been episode 26 of Unlikely Role Models. This has been season 2, episode 2, in case anybody's keeping track. I don't know why I got Brian. Shayla. Shaylin, I don't know why I got dinged. It says that I was dinged. I'll have to look it up and find out and see what they said and try to find it and whatever. It happens.
I fought my last one, and I fought it hard. I emailed them daily because they wouldn't respond, and they're like, "You were bullying." It was when I was walking around the zoo. I wasn't even talking. I was just walking, like, "You're bullying and harassing." I'm like, "Bullying and harassing who?" And I'm like, "Just tell me what I did." And they couldn't even do that.
Triggered. Shaylin says it's probably when you said triggered or pew pew. Yeah, pew pew. You can get away with saying pew pew. That's the way that we. That's why we. That's why we say it. But it could be triggered, or it could be how I was talking about that, like, or whatever. Anyhow, it could be any number of things. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna hit this appeal button real quick. Here's an appeal button. Maybe. Anyhow, it doesn't matter.
That wraps it up anyway. We're at our time.
Yeah.
Past our time, but it was good.
Yeah, it's a good episode. Nice to be back. We're just gonna keep trying to knock these out weekly. Sometimes you're gonna get 2, 3, 4 of them in a week, every week, and then you're gonna not see us for a month. It's gonna probably happen, and you're just gonna have to hang out with us. I am going to who watches all this shit to be banned people? I don't know. It happens. It's weird. We're going to keep going on this, though. We're going to keep knocking out episodes. We're going to try to have some special guests. There's another podcast that wants to be part of this. Actually, 2 other podcasts that want to have us on, and us vice versa, have them on as well. We're going to try to have a bunch more guests this season. That's kind of our big goal, is to try to have a guest maybe every other episode or something like that if we can knock it out.
Yeah.
And then hopefully our kids don't get in the way of us having like a good time. We'll see next week if the Stanley Cup comes with, or if it gets back to its original owner. You have to catch and you have to see.
Shaylin, you could be a guest.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys, Brian was a guest. You might as well.
Was Brian a guest only once or twice?
He's only been on
once. Okay.
It was right before deer camp.
That's right.
Your guys' deer camp. I'll be out there next year. I'm probably not going to shoot a deer, but I'll be out there just drinking beer and hanging out and trying to avoid work and things. So at least that's my plan. I have been Shane, aka the Horny Gnome. This has been
Kyle, just Kyle,
and this has been Unlikely Role Models. And we're done. We're out. We'll see you later. Talk to you later. Peace.